Today's video is about the monarchy and Commonwealth and the Commonwealth countries, i.e. Jamaica, or the current affairs which was going on there, and with William going there and what happened there. Now, this debate seems to always end up in an argument and creating two sides divided, English versus the Caribbean countries, and maybe white versus black, and but in here you have people that support the monarchy, so that can't be white against black. So we'll take it to a different way of looking at it. Or I want to take it a different way. I don't want to get into the thing of where they're asking about reparations and things like that. I want to bring it back before that and make people understand before they answer questions what they're actually answering. There's two questions I want to ask you first. Yeah? Can you tell me what independence means? Can you also tell me, well, maybe three questions. Can you tell me what a head of state means? Yeah? And also, can you tell me what the benefits are of having a Queen Commonwealth in those countries? Yeah? Once we can understand those questions, then people can answer it. Because even down to here, we have the Commonwealth, we have the Queen as the head of state. I just Googled what head of state means, and I advise you to go and do the same thing. And then decide whether or not, because there's always been a question of people say, oh, the Queen doesn't run the government. If you go and check what head of state says, it says that they are in charge of all laws and all things in the government. Yeah, so when we look at what's going on and what's happening, it is actually done off the Queen's behest. Yeah? So people need to understand like I said, even in this country, we have the head of state. What is she actually doing? What is the benefits for us? We can ask what the benefits are for those Caribbean countries or the Commonwealth countries. And to me personally, nothing. Yeah? Just think of it like, I pop to Jamaica, I go there now and again. And I think my first time I went there, I'll be honest with you, I was quite scared. I was thinking, what you hear from being here in this country about the Commonwealth countries and how rough it is and how scary it is. And I'm thinking, all right, let me go there and have a look. I was quite scared, not gonna lie. Until I actually took off my English cap and was more open-minded. I started to see, remember there's no benefit system. There's no things to help people there at all. But people are surviving, people are happy. In this country, we're caught up and we're mixed up with materialistic things. And like I said, I'm going to do a video on that another time. But for the moment, we're talking about this. And people are surviving and living and doing all right, because they're living by their means. So now I thought to myself, when I've been around the island, you now understand. And everybody talks about, a lot of people talk that Jamaicans are being independent and we're independent and we can do what we want. No, you can't. Because if you have a head of state, she is in control. And I've always wondered why. In black countries, they have an army. But their army is not to go and fight other countries. Their armies are there to keep the people in and control the people. Now, when William and Kate went there, and they see all that, and they tried to show, what people don't understand is that was not for those people, that was for the people in this country. Yeah? To show people that with colonialism and we have the power and we are the dominant ones. Yeah, that's what it was, to show the people. Yeah, to clarify our dominance over the world, white privilege, that kind of thing. And there was a documentary on I'd advise people to watch. There was a lady, I think she's a chef. She had bald head. She went with her daughter around the Caribbean countries, and it was in Barbados. And Barbados is independent. Yeah? But now they want to get rid of the head of state, which I understand more reasons that independence means nothing. And the vital point is that you need to get rid of the head of state to become fully independent. Yeah? So when they were listening and talking to the people, the not the indigenous people, yeah? The people from England that we've gone over and we still own these plantations. Yeah? So when the lady went there to see them, she spoke to the people in the plantations, and when they talked about giving the people back and trying to learn a bit more about what's customs to the land, I'll say white people because they was white, yeah, they said no, they refused point blank. But it's not their country. But they said no, because of the Queen, we are sitting there and we want to keep the English side of it. So I'm thinking to myself, you've taken the land and you don't want to give it back. That is the whole point. When you talk about reparations, reparations is, one thing about giving money back and paying back. Yeah, but the biggest part of the reparations, which they're not talking about, and they don't want to talk about, which is the most important part, is giving back the land. Now, in Jamaica now, there's now beaches that black people can't go on certain days. Not black people, sorry, the indigenous people. Yeah? Cannot go on their own land or their own beaches because it's not their land. Because you have a head of state, she's in charge of everything. Yeah? She sells off the land. If you understand why, if you understand how England has got so much money to spend, yeah, and how they're able to borrow so much money, just think logically. When you go to get a mortgage, yeah, or you want a loan, what does the bank manager ask you first? What assets do you have? Yeah, what are you loaning against? So I did a bit of homework and I sat listening, and Jamaica owes so much money to the IMF that they can't pay it back. And if you look at the amount of money that's been borrowed and look at the state of Jamaica, it makes no sense. So what they've done by these Commonwealth countries, yeah, is borrow money against them. That's why they can't do anything. Now, if you look at even Jamaica, like I said, because I see it, I know it, we have the lands, now we have all the hotels that have been built. Now, if you gave independence, full independence without the monarchies, remember, you have to pay the monarchy. Yeah? Head of state, she is head of all the laws, she's head of everything. Go online and just go Google and type in head of state and it will tell you what it means. This is why like I said, even people in this country, we don't fully understand. Yeah? So we understand, which is the word, which is short, understand. How could you under and stand at the same time? But we don't, even in this country, we don't benefit. There's no benefit. When you hear people say about the Queen being here and what she does is and having the monarchy, tourism. Tourism? Where? Oh, people come see her buildings. Do people not pay to go into those buildings? Does the money come to us? No, it goes straight to the Queen because it's her building. Yeah? The monarchy has taken ownership of land. Yeah? Same with the Commonwealth countries, taken ownership of land. Yeah? Say independence, we give you back we give you back what we want you to give you, but we take the most plantations and still own them. Yeah, they're still like it. And when they talk about giving reparation for slavery, yeah, and all that, the reason why they don't want to do it because most of the people in Parliament, yeah, they're part of the legacies of that time. Yeah, their families were slave owners. Their families were getting paid. Now the flip side of it now is 2015 it stopped, but then. What they've done now is people in this country have become the new. We've always been slaves in this country, but we are the new slaves that we can drain more money out of. Hence, what you are seeing now with what's going on. Yeah, we could capitalism is to capitalise. Yeah, on all assets and everything, which is what they've done in all the Commonwealth countries. People need to stop looking and thinking in this glass house and thinking your glass house is good. You're in a glass house. Yeah. It's very dangerous to live in a glass house, yeah. But we don't see it. So what we do in this country, or not us, but as people, the people at the top, they reflect the image onto something else. When the image is them, but they reflect it onto somebody else. So we correct that image. You even go back even further when we talk about actual slavery. People need to understand what was done in your name. Yeah, you sing God Save the Queen. Why would God save the Queen? But you have to understand, go further into that. That we have the Church of England. Remember, if we go back into history, the King James version, which was changed specifically to suit this country and to suit what they wanted. So yes, and if you go into religious terms, God can't save the Queen. He would never save the Queen, yeah, because of what has been done in her name, yeah, and what she is living on. Now we have this time of recession now. Now we have all this, and we are suffering. We are now going to suffer here. You laugh. A lot of people laugh at these Commonwealth countries and poor countries. And look how poor they are. Look how we are just as poor, yeah, and we are going to suffer just as bad as them. Yeah, but on the basis, like I said to you, we live off like the Commonwealth and the Queen, capitalism, lobbying. We have all those things which are done in. Remember, we point the image when we look at those things and we say about other countries. Look how corrupt they are. Look how we are in this country. We are very helpful, and no, we're not. Yeah, aid is not aid. Yeah? We don't give aid. Yeah, but going back to what we're saying about the two countries and the Commonwealth for Jamaica, yeah, we need to get rid of the head of state. Yeah, I believe, I'm not being funny, I live in the country, I think we need to get rid of her state here because she owns all the land. If you look at all your taxes, yeah, the taxes go to the Queen. Yeah. Oh, if you think that said to you that the Queen can't sit there and get rid of Boris and all these stuff that Boris is doing isn't part of the agenda, you're a fool. Yeah, we are going to have rich and poor. Yeah, the same way, the same demographics and things that you see in the Commonwealth countries like Jamaica and all that. You have rich and poor. We're gonna have it here. Yeah, you and we are the new slaves, top of the chain. Yeah, we're going back to that. So we talk about. So going back to the question of like whether or not we should have reparations, we should have our land back. Yeah, and to all those people who say, "Oh, go back to your own country. If you think this is it, then yeah." This is not even your country, is it? Because it's owned by the Queen. So what is yours? And you are the Queen's subject, yes? The same way those people are in that country, the Queen's subject. Yeah? But we need to understand, like I said to you, I'm not asking anyone to say sorry for it. The problem is, like, see, when there's an argument, we're having an argument. You've been out there and having an argument with someone. The person you're arguing with is not even at the front, they're at the back. Yeah? They start off at the front running their mouth, and then what they do, they get everybody else to go in front, and then people in front defend, but you don't even know what you're defending. The person who needs to answer the question is the one at the back. Yeah? The one that has received all this money. Yeah? Like the David Camerons of these worlds. Yeah? Essentially, they sit there, their parents were part of slavery. Yeah? They made money from it. They won't tell you it. Yeah? But why was we even paying them for? Remember, it's your taxes. Yeah? You don't want to pay the people that deserve it, but you are happy to be paying the people that don't deserve it. Yeah? So, I said, part one, I'll go back into more of this. Yeah, essentially, but a question, like all those questions need to be answered first before I ask you a question about whether Jamaican people or the Commonwealth countries are entitled to reparations and what you see reparations being. Yeah? And like I said, I'm not asking you. Yeah, because you are not the person that was sit there is in charge and has benefited from it. You have not benefited from it one bit. Yeah, you. Even if you think that we're England great, no, you haven't benefited from it. Yeah, everybody else has. The people at the top, that's why they got the ivory towers. Yeah, you look at the land the Queen owns. She owns everything. Yeah. Now I said this again. Give it back. Give the people back what they want. End of part one, and we'll go back over this again. Thank you.